A year after the largest gold heist in Canadian history, Peel Regional Police have made 5 arrests and issued warrants for 4 others. Yesterday, police confirmed the heist that took place at an Air Canada cargo facility back in April of 2023 was an inside job. CTV's Rahim Ladani has more in this report.
What are we stealing?
While it may sound like a Hollywood blockbuster movie, the largest gold heist in Canadian history was anything but fiction. And we now know the starring suspects are all from the Greater Toronto area.
This one is a carefully planned and well-organized group of criminals from both inside and outside of airport facilities that orchestrated this theft.
Police say it was an inside job that started when this man, 25-year-old Durante King McLean of Brampton, showed up to the Air Canada cargo warehouse at Toronto's Pearson International Airport on April 17, 2023. He presented this airway bill, which was actually for a shipment of seafood that was picked up the day before the heist, but a duplicate copy was printed inside the airport by an employee.
A short time later, a forklift arrived with a container of gold and foreign currency and loaded it into the rear of the suspect's truck.
6,600 gold bars weighing 400 kilograms valued at $20 million, along with an additional $2.5 million in Canadian cash, made its way west on Highway 401 before heading north of Milton. More than 4 months after the heist, police got a break. South of the border, King McLean was pulled over by a state trooper in Pennsylvania for a minor traffic violation. That's when they discovered 65 stolen and automatic guns.
Court-authorized search warrant for the vehicle led to the recovery of those firearms that were allegedly destined to be smuggled into Canada.
Police in Peel Region believe those guns were bought with profit from the gold heist. Their investigation also leading to the recovery of the white truck, more than $400,000, 6 pure gold bracelets, and tools commonly used to melt gold. While King McLean is in U.S. police custody on firearms trafficking charges, Peel police have arrested these 5 men. One, an Air Canada employee, another, a jewelry store owner. They've also issued Canada-wide warrants for 3 other men, including a former Air Canada employee. To date, still only a fraction of the $20 million worth of stolen gold has been recovered, and police admit they likely won't find it all.
We believe the gold has been melted down and reconstituted into local and possibly international markets. It can be done, unfortunately, fairly easy, and that's what we're trying to find out.
Adding their investigation is far from complete. Rahim Ladani, CTV News.
All right, a very busy time at the airport. Sticking with Airline, shares of United continue to trade higher today after the company forecast better than expected second quarter earnings despite ongoing delivery delays from Boeing. Speaking of Boeing, that company has been back in the headlines in the past day. The plane maker engaged in Senate committee hearings in Washington, and one of the key witnesses, a Boeing engineer, testified he believes the company has been putting out defective airplanes. Let's get more on what this means for the broader airline sector. Nicolas Owens is an equity analyst covering aerospace and defense from Morningstar. Nicolas, thanks very much for your time this morning. What was your reaction to the commentary out of D.C. yesterday?
Thanks, John. I'm still sort of wrapping my head around it. I think I need to sort through, or we all need to sort through, what's really new information and what are the implications if people were calling for the shutdown of the assembly line back in, say, 2018 before those 2 crashes. The thing that perplexes me and that I think is concerning is Boeing did shut down its assembly line for 20 months because of those crashes. And so what I wonder then is, what were they doing? Why didn't they get their manufacturing shop in order? We've seen more defects being revealed even after they restarted the assembly line. So I really think the company, and this I think is what led to the change in leadership, has to dig deeper to get its house in order.
With Boeing in hot water, any impact in the foreseeable future for its buyers?
In terms of the airlines buying airplanes?
Yeah.
Well, you saw that in United's results. They're having to juggle and shuffle their order book. They have the option to exchange, say, a MAX 10 for a MAX 9, et cetera, which isn't ideal for them, but they can make it work. And they're spacing those out. So United talked about how they had over 100 planes theoretically on order, but they're not expecting more than 60-ish this year. So it delays their plans for renewing their fleet, which is ultimately a hardship for the airline, because the newer the fleet, the more efficient it is, the more it's better for their economics. They will make do using their older planes, but that's not the best experience.
And then in terms of the airlines themselves as investments, I noticed you've got some pretty cautious views on most of the North American carriers, including Air Canada. How come?
Yeah, well, I'll be honest. I think airlines and investments might be an oxymoron. So if you think about what is a stock for, you're participating in the long-term profitability of the business, and historically, airlines time and again have not made money over a cycle. And so I think it's important to bear in mind that we're in unusual times here. We have incredibly resurgent demand post-COVID and constricted supply. The irony here is, even though it's an inconvenience for the airline that they can't get the planes they wanted, a shortage of planes means they can't expand their capacity as fast, and they can't follow their temptation, which usually takes place, to add routes. And so they're maximizing profitability. They said it on the United call. And you see that in the results. It's just that if you fast forward a year or two to when, let's say, supply becomes normal, planes will come back online, pilots and air traffic controllers, et cetera. And if the consumer flattens out or takes a break from post-COVID revenge spending, as they call it, I just don't see that as being sustainable in terms of today's profitability levels.
Okay, and is there anything unique to the Canadian market, do you think, that's different than the U.S. market that you're also thinking about, just because you watch what's happening with an airline like Air Canada, let's say, versus the U.S. carriers?
Air Canada is a little bit different than the carriers that I cover in the U.S., just in terms of the way they interconnect even more, sort of to and from the U.S. as well as the international routes. But it's largely the same picture. Air Canada may have a bit of a denser network than the U.S. Operators that I cover, just because the Air Canada sort of occupies the role that more than one U.S. airline occupies, if you will. But the dynamics of the cost of fuel, the cost of labor, the demand for air travel are more or less equally shared among them.
Right.